I'm Bob Braun, and I'm with Michael Gold. Mike and I chair the Cybersecurity and Privacy Group at Jeffrey Mangels, Butler & Mitchell, and wanted to get together and chat about some of the things that we deal with and the challenges that our clients face in this new and exciting atmosphere.
All right. Thank you, Bob. One question I have is that you majored in English in college. What do you know about cybersecurity?
Well, I know it when I see it, Mike, but the fact is that this is something I've been doing for a long time. Ever since I started practicing law over 30 years ago, I've been dealing with issues relating to privacy and security, starting with banks and insurance companies and other regulated entities. And it became a natural thing as my practice continued to develop to move into that area.
So cybersecurity and privacy issues obviously have been around for a long time. Why are they so prominent today?
I think there are a lot of things. One of them is that the ability to collect and manipulate data is huge. So every company tends to collect and retain and manipulate a lot of data. And the more data that you have, the bigger target you are. And the other thing that's particularly interesting now is there are so many vectors. There's a time I remember when any company would have its own internal computer system and really was difficult to breach. Now these systems are open, they have many vectors, people have mobile devices, they have phones, they have pads, they have all sorts of devices which allow people to get into their systems, and in fact they design them so that they can be accessible.
What are some of the challenges that your clients are bringing to you? What are some of the common fact patterns you see?
You know, one of the most common things that I've seen recently is that one of my clients came to me and said they wanted to get a cybersecurity policy. They wanted to get a cyber insurance policy from their insurance carrier because they knew everyone else was getting one. And their broker had said, you know, we need to see your policies, we need to see your procedures, we need to see what tests you've run on your system. And they thought that was an interesting idea, and they called me because they had no policies, they had no procedures, they had never tested their system, and they had to ask us to help work on it.
If you can put it in simple terms, what would you say is the biggest challenge facing your clients?
Single biggest challenge is the human factor. You can do whatever you want to create technological barriers, to create protections. You can create firewalls and DMZs and sandboxes and whatever names we give those things. But any one person in an organization can overcome virtually every one of those protections.
Well, tell us a little bit about how that works. I mean, you know, you've got organizations that are spending a great deal of money on cybersecurity technology, in many cases cutting edge technology. What's a human being, what's an end user, a person sitting at a browser at her desk supposed to do? You suggesting that companies in effect create human firewalls?
That's exactly what we need to do. Because unless we create a human firewall, the technological firewalls won't work. What we really need to do, what every company needs to do, is to train its people so they can differentiate between an innocuous email and a dangerous email, so they know what kind of website they can visit and what they can't. You simply cannot block every email, you cannot block every site effectively, and frankly, doing so is going to make it very hard to work.
Okay. Have you seen companies undertaking any kind of systematic cybersecurity training, awareness raising among their employees?
Well, I know one that has, and that's our firm, because as you know, you and I have been training every person in our firm in cybersecurity defensive. But that's actually something that we've been talking to a lot of clients about, and that's one of the things that we do as part of a comprehensive cyber defense program for our clients.
So in other words, we're not going to ask anybody to do anything that we're not going to do ourselves.
That's right. We drink the Kool-Aid, absolutely.
Okay. So I've been practicing cybersecurity principally with you probably for a couple of decades now. And one of the refrains that I often run into from technology people is that it's an interesting thought to train end users to be part of a human firewall, but the tech people tell me that the end users, the line employees, are fundamentally untrainable. It's too complicated, they won't spend the time to do it. What are some of the challenges you see in creating the human firewall?
Well, I think it takes the same kind of training that anyone needs. You know, a great tennis player, a great piano player doesn't wake up and become that. Any person who wants to have a skill, who wants to become a skilled person, a skilled operator, needs training in that. And that's not just training once, and it's not just an email or a message or some kind of notice on the cafeteria wall. People need actually to be trained on a regular basis, and it has to become part of the culture of the system. It has to be a valued part of any system.
We hope you found this video informative. Please watch our other videos at Jeffrey Mangels YouTube or jmbm.com.